A lot of companies want to just go out there and talk about what they're doing in their product. From a media perspective, that's not going to get past reporters and editors and producers. For a story to be newsworthy, it has to be something that people are interested in reading about or interested in knowing about. And by people, usually for a company, it's going to be like audiences that would potentially use their product or, their offering or service. So you need to look for things that make what they do or what products they sell relevant within the context of a conversation that's happening in the world, or within the context of, what their target audiences are trying to achieve. So you have to think like, what are the company's goals and what stories will help us further them? One company we worked with, it was a plant-based meat company, and they were going against like Impossible and Beyond, and they, weren't even from the US. So they were not only entering the US market, they were going against like pretty well-liked competitors and category creators. So we had to be extremely creative about how we would get them in the news. And one thing, we came up with this idea of a media narrative where we would just present the idea that maybe instead of calling it the meat aisle at stores should consider calling it the protein aisle. And this is actually a way more controversial idea than you would realize, just because of all of the lobbies out there. But because it was surprisingly controversial, we were able to get broadcast networks to have the CEO on to think about what this would look like and talk about why it could be a good idea. So you don't always have to have a huge initiative. Sometimes you just have to have like an interesting idea that news networks are willing to talk about with your CEO or with your company.